In the video era we live in, it seems people are likely to believe anything. Sometimes, these falsehoods have very real impacts on reality, and sometimes, they happen to be true, proving that the truth can be stranger than fiction. Today, I'm going to show you 10 conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Before the video begins, please give it a like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel. Now, let's begin. Number 10. Canada tried to develop Gaydar. Conspiracy. The Canada government was so paranoid about homosexuality that it developed a Gaydar machine. The truth. It really happened. In the 1960s, the government hired a university professor to develop a way to detect homosexuality in federal employees. He came up with a machine that measured pupil dilation in response to same-sex erotic imagery. The Canadian government used it to exclude or fire more than 400 men from civil service, the military, and the Mounties. Number 9. Big Tobacco knew that cigarettes caused cancer. Conspiracy. For decades, tobacco companies buried evidence that smoking is deadly. The truth. At the beginning of the 1950s, research was showing an indisputable statistical link between smoking and lung cancer, but it wasn't until the late 1990s that Philip Morris even admitted that smoking could cause cancer. The benefits of quitting smoking are huge. Food tastes better, your mouth feels fresher, and most importantly, your risk of tobacco-related disease drops significantly. Number 8. Fake battle, real war. Conspiracy. The Gulf of Tonkin incident on August 2, 1964, was faked to provoke American support for the Vietnam War. The truth. By the time news reached American ears, the facts surrounding the North Vietnamese attack on the American naval ship Maddox were already fuzzy. Declassified intelligence documents have since revealed that the Maddox had provided support for South Vietnamese attacks on a nearby island, and that the North Vietnamese were responding in kind, according to the U.S. Naval Institute. The event opened the floodgates for direct American military involvement in Vietnam. Similarly, there are some crazy aviation conspiracy theories people also believe. Number 7. The Dead Baby Project. Laughing at crazy conspiracy theories is good fun, until they turn out to be true. Take the conspiracy surrounding Project Sunshine, for example. In the wake of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the US government commenced a major study to measure the effects of nuclear fallout on the human body. Conspiracy. The government was stealing dead bodies to do radioactive testing. The truth. The government was stealing parts of dead bodies. Because they needed young tissue, they recruited a worldwide network of agents to find recently deceased babies and children, and then take samples and even limbs, each collected without notification or permission of the more than 1,500 grieving families. Number 6. John Lennon was under government surveillance. Conspiracy. The FBI was spying on former Beatle John Lennon. The truth. They most certainly were. Like many counterculture heroes, Lennon was considered a threat. Anti-war songs like Give Peace a Chance didn't exactly endear former Beatle John Lennon to the Nixon administration, NPR reported in 2010. In 1971, the FBI put Lennon under surveillance, and the Immigration and Naturalization Service tried to deport him a year later. In 1957, John Lennon and Paul McCartney met at a party in Woolton. Just yards away from their meeting place was the grave of Eleanor Rigby. A bizarre coincidence or not? Number 5. The Dalai Lama's impressive salary. Conspiracy. The Dalai Lama is a CIA agent. The truth. Perhaps the reason the Dalai Lama is smiling in all those photos has something to do with the 6-figure salary he pulled down from the US government during the 1960s. According to declassified intelligence documents, he earned $180,000 in connection with the CIA's funding of the Tibetan resistance, to the tune of $1.7 million per year. The idea was to disrupt and hamper China's infrastructure. The Dalai Lama is believed to have the power to choose the body into which he is reincarnated, meaning that the current Dalai Lama is a reincarnation of the last. Today, millions of people across all religions believe in reincarnation. Number 4. Government mind control. Conspiracy. The CIA was testing LSD and other hallucinogenic drugs on Americans in a top-secret experiment on behavior modification. The truth. The program was known as MK Ultra, and it was real. The CIA started by using volunteers. The novelist Ken Kesey was one notable subject. But the program heads soon began dosing people without their knowledge. MK Ultra left many victims permanently mentally disabled. At the present time, another drug that alters food and perception and is causing great public concern because of its harmful effects is meth. You've probably also heard that your computer camera could be used to spy on you. Number 3. The First Lady who ran the United States. Conspiracy. A stroke rendered United States President Woodrow Wilson incapable of governing, and his wife surreptitiously stepped in. The truth. Wilson did suffer a debilitating stroke towards the end of his presidency, but the government felt it was in the country's best interest to keep things quiet. The public didn't learn about the stroke for months, during which time his wife, Edith Wilson, was making most executive decisions. Despite Mrs. Wilson claiming that she acted only as a, quote, steward, historians who have analyzed the Wilson term in office confirm that for well over a year, Mrs. Wilson was effectively president. Number 2. Bad booze. Conspiracy. During Prohibition, the government poisoned alcohol to keep people from drinking. The truth. Manufacturers of industrial alcohol had been mixing their product with dangerous chemicals for years prior to Prohibition. But between 1926 and 1933, the federal government pushed manufacturers to use stronger poisons to discourage bootleggers from turning the alcohol into moonshine. That didn't stop the bootleggers or their customers, and by the end of Prohibition, more than 10,000 Americans had been killed by tainted booze. Much of the illegal booze was sold in infamous night spots called speakeasies, so called from the practice of speaking quietly about such a place in public, or when inside it, so as not to alert the police or neighbors. Limiting alcohol is a health advice doctors can agree on, but these 11 health controversies and conspiracies still divide people. There is alien evidence in the American Southwest. Conspiracy. E.T. is buried in the desert of New Mexico. The truth. This one is real. The Atari video game E.T. the Extraterrestrial failed so miserably that the company buried unsold cartridges in a desert landfill. Wait, what did you think we meant? Real aliens in New Mexico? Not yet, anyway. Thank you for watching, and please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable post alerts to view more of our future videos. After saying that, keep watching our videos, and I'll speak with you in the next one.